The sin that quietly destroys more wealth than any other is not the one preachers warn about on Sunday morning. It is not lust. It is not pride in the obvious sense. It is not even greed in the way most people define it. Solomon named it 47 times across the Book of Proverbs alone. And almost no one teaching about money today connects the dots he laid out so clearly. Stay with this teaching to the end, because there is a prayer waiting for you that will close every door this sin has opened in your finances. By the time we reach it, you will know exactly what Solomon was pointing at, why it operates invisibly, and how to dismantle it before it dismantles you. The sin is sloth, but not the sloth you think you know. The English word is too small, too comfortable. The Hebrew word he used repeatedly was Atzla, and it does not mean laziness in the casual sense. It means the quiet refusal to act on what you already know to do. It means delay disguised as planning. It means comfort defended as wisdom. It means the slow surrender of motion in the places where motion would have produced provision. Proverbs 24, ES 30-34 paints the most exact portrait of this sin in all of Scripture. Solomon wrote, "I went past the field of a sluggard, past the vineyard of someone who has no sense. Thorns had come up everywhere. The ground was covered with weeds and the stone wall was in ruins. I applied my heart to what I observed and learned a lesson from what I saw. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come on you like a thief and scarcity like an armed man." Read that slowly. The man in the passage owned the field. He had the vineyard. He possessed the asset. Solomon did not describe a beggar. He described an owner whose ownership was unraveling because he was not tending what he held. This is the diagnosis the modern world cannot make, because the modern world celebrates the appearance of activity. You can be busy and slothful at the same time. You can answer messages all day and still be neglecting the one decision that would change your entire trajectory. You can fill your calendar and still be a sluggard in the biblical sense if the things filling it are not the things that produce harvest. Solomon was not measuring effort. He was measuring stewardship. The two are not the same. Consider how often Solomon returned to this theme. Proverbs chapter 6, Proverbs 10, Proverbs 12, Proverbs 13, Proverbs 15, Proverbs 18, Proverbs 19, Proverbs 20, Proverbs 21, Proverbs 22, Proverbs 24, Proverbs 26. 47 distinct references to the sluggard, the slothful, the man who delays, the one who folds his hands. No other financial vice receives this volume of attention. Not pride, not envy, not even the love of money itself. Solomon understood something the modern teacher has forgotten. The fastest path to poverty is not catastrophic failure. It is the slow accumulation of unmade decisions. I want to pause here because this teaching is reaching people across many nations right now, and I want to know where you are sitting as you receive these words. Drop your city or country in the comments. Let the community see how far Solomon's wisdom is still traveling 3,000 years later. Proverbs 13 verse 4 cuts to the mechanism. A sluggard's appetite is never filled, but the desires of the diligent are fully satisfied. Notice what Solomon did there. He did not say the sluggard had no appetite. He said the appetite was real, intense, never filled. The sluggard wants, he desires, he dreams, he imagines what his life could be. He hungers for the harvest. But hunger without action is the exact engine of his impoverishment. The diligent man may want less in any given moment, but his wants are satisfied because his hands keep moving in the direction his desires point. The gap between wanting and doing is the territory where this sin lives. Look at how clinical Solomon becomes in Proverbs 26:13-16. A sluggard says, "There is a lion in the road, a fierce lion roaming the streets. As a door turns on its hinges, so a sluggard turns on his bed. The sluggard buries his hand in the dish. He is too lazy to bring it back to his mouth. The sluggard is wiser in his own eyes than 7 people who answered discreetly." Read what Solomon embedded in those 4 verses. The sluggard manufactures danger to justify delay. He moves but never advances, turning on the bed without ever rising from it. He starts an action and abandons it before completion. Hand in the dish, food never reaching the mouth. And the most dangerous mark of all, he believes himself wiser than the people who are actually producing. Self-deception is the final lock on the prison door. This is the hidden architecture of how the sin destroys wealth. It does not announce itself. It rationalizes itself. The lion in the road is always plausible. The market is uncertain. The timing is not right. The resources are not yet in place. The skill is not yet developed. Every reason the sluggard offers sounds reasonable from the outside. And that is precisely why the sin spreads through the lives of intelligent people more effectively than through the lives of the obviously foolish. Proverbs 22 verse 13 mocks the pattern directly. The sluggard says, "There is a lion outside. I will be killed in the public square." There is no lion. There has never been a lion. The threat is constructed to protect the comfort. And here is what Solomon understood at the deepest level. The sluggard is not afraid of work. He is afraid of failure becoming visible. As long as he never fully commits, he never fully fails. The unfinished project, the unstarted business, the unmade decision protects him from the verdict of the marketplace. Sloth in its biblical form is fear wearing the costume of patience. If something in this is landing for you, if you feel the diagnosis pressing against something real in your own life right now, tap the like button. It is a small act of agreement that this kind of teaching deserves to travel further. The cure Solomon prescribed was not a productivity system. It was a complete reorientation of how a person relates to time. Proverbs 10 verse 5 declares, "He who gathers crops in summer is a prudent son, but he who sleeps during harvest is a disgraceful son." There is a season for every action, and the season closes. Solomon was not speaking metaphorically about the rotation of crops. He was teaching that opportunities operate on biological timing. They ripen, they become available, they demand action, and then they pass. The man who sleeps during harvest does not lose the harvest because someone stole it. He loses it because he was not present when it was ready to be taken in. This is why the sin is so devastating to wealth. Wealth in the Solomonic sense is not built by occasional heroic effort. It is built by being present at the right moments, by tending what is currently ripe, by not deferring the action